Well, the Pioneers get 2 power play goals, their first 2 power plays of the night, but give up 2 goals in the last 9 minutes and go into overtime. They skate to a 2-2 overtime tie, but then give up a very soft goal on a 3-on-3 to give the extra point to Western Michigan. That is only in the NCHC conference. But again, Denver putting up 49 shots on goal tonight, but somehow did not come out with a win. Joining us is head coach Jim Montgomery. Coach, being in the locker room right down there with the team, granted it's an overtime tie after 1, but does it feel like a loss in the locker room?
Oh, sure it does. I mean, anytime you're up 2-0 with 9 minutes left, you got to close out the game. And you know what? Our best players need to be better because they were the guys that were on the ice when we got scored against. And we need, key saves. I mean, I feel bad for Tanner because, he's made so many great saves here over a 5-game stretch. And that's where we got to bail him out. We've recruited players to score goals, and you keep getting 48, 50 shots a night. Those guys got to put some home.
Yeah, the one positive for Denver, again, you got the power play working, 2 power play goals on your first 2 shifts. Huge goal by Gabe Levin with just a second remaining in the first period. But then in the second period, it really was more of an up-and-down, end-to-end hockey game with both teams playing a much more wide-open style.
Yeah, I thought Western, they made a couple of adjustments. They started stretching their wings, and that gave us some trouble. But I thought in the second period is where we needed to put our foot on their throats, and we didn't do it. And it's part of our development. We got to keep growing. I like the way we played all weekend. It was good hockey, but the killer instinct has to come from within that group, and staying with the process and being more consistent needs to improve.
Yeah, Hafner makes 47 saves tonight, but how many of those chances do you think Denver had great looks and just put it right into him?
Well, quite a few, but we shot a lot of pucks from the outside too, so that shot total is a little bit misleading in my opinion. But again, we talk about screening the goalie, getting to the net front, getting to dirty areas, and they're a big, heavy team. They did a good job of defending, but how many times are we going to give credit to the other team? And sometimes the onus is on us.
Some players for the Pioneers, I noticed in that third period, you switched up that top line. You end up putting a Trevor Moore and Danton Hine in on different lines. Were you just trying to create more offensive chances?
Yeah, I just didn't like the Gambrels line. I just didn't think they were working, and I thought that Moore was the one piece that was working, and Jansen always worked. So try to give a little energy to one line, and then hopefully Terry was going to set up Moore like he'd already set up Jansen a couple of times, and maybe the finish would work. It didn't translate.
Yeah, Troy Terry, seemed to have a good game tonight. Had some very fine-looking passes that just unfortunately weren't finished. But he's another one of those players. It'd be nice to see him shoot more.
No question. I thought we passed up, despite the number of shots we had, I thought we passed up a lot of shots from the middle of the ice. And that's where we got to be a little quicker with our release. And, they blocked a lot of shots, too. I don't know how many shots they blocked, but attempts must have been close to 3-1.
Yeah, and you got a huge weekend next weekend. Minnesota Duluth coming in. They also went to a second overtime tonight, and they also lost in the second overtime at home against St. Cloud State. So the two teams now getting together here at Magnus Arena next Friday and Saturday. But you've got a 1-point lead on them for that 4th spot. Denver in the 3rd spot. Doesn't get much bigger than that conference-wise next weekend.
Oh, and we know how good they are, and we know how hard it's going to be to try and get good results against them. They're a well-coached team that plays really hard every minute, and as we've seen in the last 3 years against them, there's always great college hockey games. So hopefully our building will be rocking, and we'll be ready to go.
All right, Coach. Well, obviously a tough and long night tonight, but we'll talk to you next Friday.
All right, thanks, Jay.
All right, that's Coach Jim Montgomery. We'll take a break, wrap things up, give you scores from around college hockey. When we return, Pioneer Postgame continues on AM 1600.